UPISD Lifespan Program, and today we're going to be making veggie sushi. Usually when we think of sushi, we think of raw fish, but this recipe does not have fish in it. It just has veggies. This recipe serves 6, and it has tortillas, salsa. I'm using fresh salsa, but you could use either salsa you've made yourself, or you could use the jarred salsa, whichever salsa that you prefer. It has chili powder, salt, fresh baby spinach. If you have spinach from your garden, you could use that, or any fresh baby spinach from the store or the farmer's market. Half of a red bell pepper. We're going to cut this into strips. Half of a yellow bell pepper. And low-fat cream cheese. I actually have the whipped cream cheese because it is lower in fat, and then it's easier to stir other ingredients in it. All right, so let's get started. First, in a medium bowl, we are going to take the low-fat cream cheese. I'm just going to scoop this in here. And then right into that, we are going to add our salt. The recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I have a 1/4 teaspoon right here. I'm gonna just make sure we don't, sometimes it's easy to get extra salt into our recipes if we're not careful about how we measure, at least for me. All right, we're gonna add that in, give that a little bit of a stir. I find it easier to stir in all my ingredients if I stir each one at a time. All right, then we are going to add our salsa. It calls for a 1/4 cup, and so that is actually 4 tablespoons. There are 4 tablespoons in a 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna add 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm gonna give that a really good stir. And our chili powder. This recipe calls for 1½ teaspoons of chili powder. I haven't opened this one yet, so nice and fresh. When you open something like chili powder, it always has the top with the little holes. You don't have to use the holes to sprinkle. You can just open the top, and I put my measuring spoon right inside the container. All right, so there's 1 teaspoon, and then we'll use our 1/4 teaspoon. And we'll give 2 scoops of that because 2 1/4 teaspoons will equal our 1/2 teaspoon. All right, give that a really good stir. I'm gonna try to get that so that it looks nice and smooth. All right, so it's gonna look a little bit like that. We're gonna set that aside, and it tells us to trim our tortillas until they're about 6½ inch square. So I bought 8-inch tortillas. They are a little bit smaller than the burrito size tortillas. There are lots of different sizes to choose from at the store. I love kitchen shears. I find it so helpful to be able to use these scissors in the kitchen. Much easier than knives, in my opinion. All right, so we're just gonna trim that down to make a square. All right, now our tortilla looks like this. Okay, we're gonna set that aside also. And now we are going to cut our peppers. We are going to slice our peppers into thin slices. So these peppers have a lot of seeds inside them. And these are sweet peppers, not hot peppers, so you don't have to worry about it being too spicy. I usually slice my peppers right down the middle like this, right below the seeds. And then when I usually will then cut around the seeds like this, so that I'm just left with this. I find that the easiest way to cut peppers. And then my slices look like this. Then you could either use the kitchen shears, which I often do, to cut into my slices. We're gonna cut them into really thin strips. Or you could also use the knife, whichever method that you prefer. Half a cup of chopped sweet peppers actually contains almost double your daily dosage of vitamin C, which is pretty amazing. We've talked about vitamin C. It seems like a lot of our fruits and vegetables that we have used this summer contain large amounts of vitamin C, which is great because that helps boost our immune system so we can fight off sickness. All right, so now we have our strips of the red pepper. We'll set those aside. And we will slice up our yellow pepper in the same way. This is a great recipe for right now because this is the time of the summer when our peppers and our tomatoes are really starting to be able to be harvested. If you have a garden or if you go to the farmer's market, you'll find that those are plentiful right now. And even if you just go to the grocery store, a lot of the peppers and tomatoes that are being sold there right now are Michigan produce. All right. So we'll just finish slicing that up. Then we will start layering our tortilla. This is a little bit like that veggie tortilla that we made earlier this summer, but different ingredients. So, all right. So we are going to take our tortilla and give it a thin layer. I like to use these little spatulas sometimes. So we're going to take our cream cheese mixture. We'll give it a thin layer of cream cheese all over the top of it. And then on top of that, we will add first our spinach. So the recipe for 6 tortillas is a cup of baby spinach. We're just gonna take a few of these leaves. If most of the baby spinach will be small like this, but every once in a while you might get a really large leaf like this. So I'm just gonna tear that one up a little bit into smaller pieces. We'll just layer that right on top. Take a couple more pieces. And then we will add our strips of red pepper. Now you could use green peppers if you prefer green peppers. You could use spicy peppers if you prefer spicy. I don't really care for spicy things, so I'll stick to my sweet peppers. All right, now we have it. Looks a bit like this. And we are going to tightly roll that up. Now, the directions actually say to take some plastic wrap. Take a little bit of plastic wrap, and we're going to put that roll right in the wrap. Tightly roll that up, and then we are going to put it in the refrigerator for about 1 hour, and then we're going to take it out and give it a try. Okay, now that it's been chilling for about an hour, we are going to unwrap it and give it a try. This would probably be something really great that you could throw in a kid's lunch. With an ice pack, it would be chilled by the time lunchtime rolled around. All right, so we're gonna cut it into about 4 slices. And then we are going to try it with a little bit more salsa in this bowl. All right, let's Let's give it a try. I think that's a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll give this recipe a try. Thanks for watching.